Hi, this is Captain Billy from Long Island, New York, and this is Oxford in America.
Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of Oxford in America. In this episode, we're going to start our trip from the West Coast in the Pacific Ocean and move through 3 states: Oregon, California, and Nevada. So let's get started. We left the West Coast and started our adventure on some dirt roads, some more traveled than others. These dirt roads kept us under forest canopy for most of the day, but every once in a while we were treated to some spectacular views and a great place to stop for lunch. We drove on enjoying the natural beauty of eastern Oregon and finished up our first day on the road at one of Oregon's many campgrounds. We set up camp and made our preparations for dinner in the night. Oxford did her part too by marking her spot. This was something she was getting very good at. The next morning started with a long hill climb up a winding ribbon of asphalt. Our path today was mostly on hard surface roads that meandered through the Umpqua National Forest and up in the Cascades mountain range. We'd left the coast at sea level and were heading up to an elevation of about 6,000 feet, or about 1,800 meters. It didn't take long for us to realize that Oxford was still not running just right as it struggled to maintain 20 miles per hour up these modest climbs. Nevertheless, slow and steady, Oxford continued her way up the road until we made it to the top and our destination, Crater Lake. Crater Lake was formed over 7,000 years ago as the result of a collapse of a volcano. The lake is not fed by rivers, which keeps the water remarkably clear and free from pollutants. It is the deepest lake in the United States and is well known for the deep blue color of its water. The views from its shores were spectacular. Stopping at Crater Lake was beautiful, but it also gave us a chance to get to know Oxford a little bit better. Dometic had given us a battery-powered refrigerator to help us out with our expedition. The refrigerator could be powered by its isolated own battery system or powered by Oxford. When we got to Crater Lake, we'd left the refrigerator plugged into Oxford, trying to conserve the battery life of the isolated battery. We got out, walked around, and enjoyed some of the sights, and got back into Oxford and learned that Oxford's battery wasn't up to the task. The battery was dead. This gave us our first chance to push start Oxford on the expedition. Now, being as it was just Mike and I, it was all hands to task, and there was no one around to do any filming of this great, fun experience. But with a little bit of work, and we found some good flat ground, we were able to get Oxford push started and back on the trail. Now, you may ask, why isn't Mike standing next to me helping tell this story? Well, because if Mike was here, it wouldn't be such a family-rated television program. And from that, you could probably guess which one of us was driving Oxford and which one of us had the push. We climbed down from Crater Lake and finished up the state of Oregon. Oxford really enjoyed the long downhill portions of the journey, especially in the heat of the afternoon. It was our first state crossing into California. That was like a milestone for me. Is the first time, of course, Oregon was our first state, leaving Oregon into California, and that makes it a road trip. Because when you start seeing state signs and crossing states, now it's not an international border crossing.
No, but it was a major milestone for us.
Yeah. Almost immediately in Northern California, the views and the landscape changed. We were awed by the massive rock formations and reminded again of the ongoing forest fires taking place across much of California. We finished up our second day with dinner at Harold's Frosty, a classic small town USA hamburger joint located at the crossroads of town. 2 days in, 2 states covered, and all things considered, we were feeling pretty good. We stayed overnight in our first hotel where we enjoyed our first hot shower in 3 days. That was a familiar sight after a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, every morning. Check all the fluids. Make sure Oxford was ready for the day.
It wasn't too long after we started that we crossed into our third state, Nevada. From here, we faced our next big challenge, crossing the Black Rock Desert. We made this turn off the main dirt road onto the not so main dirt road.
Right.
Tell me you weren't nervous.
I said to you, David, are you sure we really want to do this? I was nervous. No service for a couple 100 miles.
God, it was several hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, most of the day.
But yeah, that was our first remote experience.
Yes.
And I can tell you, yeah, I was more than a little nervous. I was trying to be cool about it, but I was a little nervous.
And I was relying on you to be brave.
No, I was like, we'll make it.
Yeah, and
We'll
we
make
did.
it. Yeah, it just ran like a top. Just went the whole time.
Yep.
And yeah, nervous for no reason. But that was our first time out in the desert. Our main goal for the day awaited us at the southern end of the Black Rock Desert. Here, there's a large, white, sandy section known as the Playa. Besides being a great, wide-open expanse begging to be explored, it's also home to a massive annual festival that is focused on self-expression, community, and art, also known as Burning Man. Burning Man, that was a milestone, right?
Yes. You know, Burning Man had officially been canceled that year. There still was a few campers out on the La Playa, and we did find the man. So.
Yeah. I sent this picture to Tim, and the top picture is from
Yes.
From the original crossing, and this is our picture, and
On
there's the
the
Black
La
Rock
Playa,
Desert.
yeah.
And that was kind of cool. They're similar pictures. They're different, obviously, but they're similar. 1955 and 2020. That's
That's great.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Tim got a big kick out
I
of
bet
that.
he did.
As much as we wanted to stick around and play in the desert, we had to say our goodbyes to the Playa and squeeze in another 100 miles before the end of the day. Our final destination for the day was Reno. Considered Nevada's second city, Reno is known for its casinos and tourism, but for us, it's the home of Land Rover Reno and our first dealership visit with Oxford. Just outside of Reno is the city of Sparks, where we decided to treat ourselves and stay at the Nugget Casino for the night.
Dropping dust and oil on our forecourt.
That brought an end to our third day, and it was a long and hot one. In our next episode, we will share all of our adventures at the dealership in Reno and more. Well, that wraps things up for episode 5 of Oxford America, and I hope you enjoyed it. Next time, we'll be leaving Reno, moving up to Lake Tahoe, and then around to Central California, ending up back into Nevada at Las Vegas. Should be a good time, and hope to see you then on Oxford in America.